In the heart of Wisconsin, where the forests stretched 4 miles and silence rules the night, there's a story the wind still whispers. A story about a woman who vanished into the dark. Her name was Susan Poupart. She was 29 years old, a mother, a daughter, and a friend to everyone who knew her. Susan was part of the Lac du Flambeau band of Lake Superior Chippewa Indians. She loved her kids more than anything in the world. But in May of 1990, something unimaginable happened. On a quiet Saturday night, Susan went to a small party with friends. There was laughter, music, and the kind of energy that lingers when people forget how late it's getting. Around 4 in the morning, Susan was seen leaving the house with 2 men. They got into a car together and drove away. That was the last time anyone saw her alive. When Susan then de return home, people assumed she was staying with friends. But days passed. Her family knew something was terribly wrong. She would never abandon her children. A missing person report was filed, and a search began. Before we continue, help the channel, subscribe, and leave your like. Police, volunteers, and tribal members combed through the woods and lakes around Lac du Flambeau. There was no sign of Susan. It was as if the forest had swallowed her whole. 6 months later, hunters made a horrifying discovery. Deep in the Chequameganicolet National Forest, beneath a pile of branches, they found human remains. It was Susan. Her body had been left to the elements, and the evidence was almost gone. But one thing was clear. She had been murdered. The small community of Lac du Flambeau was shaken to its core. People were afraid, because in a town that small, everyone knows everyone, and that meant someone among them might be a killer. Rumors began to spread about the men from that party, about things people had seen but never said out loud. But rumors aren't evidence. Police questioned the 2 men who left with Susan. They denied any involvement, and with no witnesses and no physical proof, the case stalled. Weeks turned into months. Months turned into years, and the name Susan Poupart faded from headlines, but not from memory. Her children grew up carrying questions that no one could answer. In 2007, investigators reopened the case. DNA technology had improved. There was hope that science could do what people could not. Evidence was tested, and a suspect was finally charged. But on the day of the trial, key witnesses didn't show. Without testimony, the case collapsed. Once again, justice slipped away. In 2014, the Wisconsin Department of Justice's cold case unit took another look. New testing was done, but time had erased too much. The forest keeps its secrets well. To this day, no one has been convicted of Susan's murder. Her case remains open, unsolved, but not forgotten. Every year, the community gathers to remember her. Her name is spoken at vigils for missing and murdered Indigenous women, because her story isn't just about one woman. It's about hundreds whose voices have gone unheard. Indigenous women in the United States face some of the highest rates of violence in the country, and too often, their cases are left cold. Susan's story stands as a painful reminder of that reality. Somewhere, someone still knows what happened that night. Someone remembers the drive, the woods, the silence that followed. Maybe guilt has eaten away at them for decades, or maybe fear has kept them quiet. But the truth doesn't disappear. It only waits. And in the dark corners of the forest, the wind still whispers her name. Susan. Her children are grown now. They still hope for answers. They've said closure isn't about revenge. It's about peace. Knowing what happened. Knowing why. Knowing who. Every year that passes, that hope fades a little more. But hope is stubborn. It survives, even in silence. Maybe one day, someone will finally come forward. Maybe one day, the truth will rise from the forest floor. Until then, the mystery of Susan Poupart remains one of Wisconsin's darkest cold cases. A mother taken too soon, a town left haunted by secrets, and a family still waiting for justice. If you know anything about the murder of Susan Poupart, contact the Wisconsin Department of Justice. Even the smallest detail could bring closure to our loved ones. Because time doesn't heal what we don't understand, it only buries it. Thank you for watching Cold Case 5 Minutes. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Turn on notifications so you never miss another cold case story. Every story deserves to be remembered.